Now to some Juan Soto hate, which you won't stand for, but
No.
you're going to
mean
have
the
to.
National League Player of the Month, Juan Soto, and
Yes.
biggest all-star snub, Juan Soto?
Many say he's the biggest all-star snub. I don't know. I don't think he deserves to be on the all-star team, but well, I mean, he had one good month. Like, he was really struggling for a lot of the season, so he's a hell of a hitter. He just got a $750 million contract.
Yes.
Which those aren't always worth it, but look, he's earned it.
Mm-hmm.
He can hit that little baseball.
Well,
and it was a good deal for the Mets.
Yeah, the people say that he's struggling. He's hitting 270.
No, I said he struggled at the start.
I'm just saying, but in general, he's hitting 270 with 21 home runs and 52 RBI. If that is a struggling first half of the season.
Well, but I don't think it is because he had a really hot month. Yeah. What I'm saying is he was really disappointing, and you know this. Even you were bitching about it. He was really disappointing until the last 30 days. But to your credit, you did say he will get it together.
He's going to be fine.
And he did.
Yeah.
That said, I mean, I kind of have always felt like he was a little overrated for what he makes.
I could see that.
But because so I'm looking at his splits. Mm-hmm. I just want to read you his months real quick.
Well, let's say this. He's never been the best player in baseball. And yet he was worth $700 million.
So if you're going to pay a guy $750 million, especially in New York, they are going to expect you not to hit 232 with 2 home runs in the month of April.
Yes.
He hit 232 with 2 home runs.
It was
then
bad.
In May, he hit 219 with 6 home runs. But in June, he hit 322 with 11 home runs, and he's been pretty good in July, so people have laid off of him.
Sure.
But the reason he is being and when you make that kind of money, dude, you got to deliver, and he is starting to do that, and it's a long season, and come playoff time, it's really all going to come down to if he has a big postseason, every penny of that is worth it.
Yes.
Right? Because the Mets are a good team.
Yeah.
But they're going to need him in September and October. Well, why did I say September? They're going to need him in October, and I think the World Series goes into November now.
You are correct, sir.
So we'll see what he can do, but I've watching him, like he had a couple years with the Yankees. Or was it only 1 year with the Yankees? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he got traded from.
Yeah. It was the Padres.
San Diego.
Wasn't he kind of? Didn't he have a down year with the Padres?
I'll look and see what he did with San Diego.
He might have been back in Washington, but anyway, he's already played for 4 teams, and that's rare for a guy of his talent. At any rate, the reason he has been being raked over the coals today is because they asked him about his All-Star snub, and
that first year in San Diego wasn't great.
What did he do?
He played 2 years in San Diego.
Yeah, what was the first year?
Well, I mean, that was it was a partial because he got dealt. So when he was in San Diego, he only played in 52 games, but he hit 236 with 6 home runs and 6. So when he got to San Diego, it was a little like, it wasn't great. And then he rebounded the next year, 275, 35, and 109. Okay. And then in New York, 288, 41, and 109. So when he got to San Diego, it wasn't it was a little bit of a dip, but he has been.
What's his best year?
His best year. So he finished MVP 2. So that would have been his 22-year-old season in Washington. He hit 313.
There we go.
With 29 and 95. And then the year in New York where he got paid, he hit 288 with 41 and 109.
Okay.
So.
But I mean, compared to like some of the numbers that are going up from Judge.
Yeah.
And
Ohtani
Shohei,
and...
it's not 800 million great.
No. You could make an argument that he is the 5th, 6th best player in baseball, and he gets paid Shohei money.
But like I said, come through in November or in October and November, and you people won't care about that.
Yeah.
What he said today that is pissing people off is they asked him about his All-Star snub, and he said, "Yeah, I'm mad about it because there's a lot of money for me if I make it."
Yeah.
And everybody's going, dude, you just signed a $750 million deal, and the thing you're worried about not making the All-Star team is a $100,000 bonus? Yeah. That tells you a lot about Juan Soto, and that also tells you a lot about how he acted between the Yankees and Mets, where he got a lot of flack for the things that he was saying.
Yeah.
I think we're learning that Juan Soto is about one thing.
Yeah, it's
Juan Soto.
It's Juan Soto. Well, one of the one of the reasons supposedly that he chose the Mets over the Yankees was the luxury box.
Yeah.
So
yes.
the Yankees were willing to give him basically the same amount of money. They were going to give him $700 million. And he wanted a luxury box at Yankee Stadium, and he wanted it for free for his friends and family. And the Yankees said, we don't do that for anybody. We don't do it for Judge. We've never done it for Jeter. Like, Jeter didn't have one. You know, and they said, we can get you one, but you have to pay for it. And they said, we'll give you basically like the team. There's a team rate, friends and family discount, and you can get a luxury suite. But they said even Derek Jeter paid for one. And Juan Soto apparently was very pissed off about that. Well, when he went to the Mets, supposedly the Mets were like, yeah, dude,
that's fine.
That's here.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
So the idea, and I don't know what a luxury suite costs for a season at Yankee Stadium. Let's assume, I don't know, $500,000. Does that sound about maybe $1 million?
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
I would have no clue.
I couldn't tell you. Let's even say it's $1 million for a suite, and they're giving you the friends and family discount. Let's knock that down to maybe $700,000. Dude, you're getting paid. You're getting paid 700 and whatever $1 million.
Yeah. Right. You can buy a suite.
You can buy a suite. So like there has been some stuff like that. And then when he first got to New York, well, when he got to the Mets, he said some comments about how the Mets lineup wasn't the Yankees lineup and missing behind, hitting behind Aaron Judge. And there were some Mets fans that were pretty pissy about that because he kind of seemed to be in a grumpy mood. And he didn't seem that excited to be here.
He just doesn't
and
get
people
it.
were like, dude, then why didn't you just stay with the Yankees? But some of that is gone away, and I don't know. I don't think he's the most lovable player in the world. Padre fans say that about him.
He's a donkey.
Yeah,
and you know that.
Yeah,
but he's your donkey.
Yes.
So good luck with that.
Someone said, as a Padre fan, you can keep trash Soto.
Yeah, they hated him.
Yeah.
Down there.
Yeah. Yeah, Padre fan here, another one. Juan Soto, great player, kind of a bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think anyone would argue. Juan Soto could hit 400 and lead the Mets to a World Series, and he would not be the most popular New York Met. I feel pretty confident about that. Like, I don't know any Mets fans that believe that Juan Soto is like their favorite player. And when you watch the games, there's not an abundance of Juan Soto jerseys in the at Citi Field. It's not. But you know what? Sports are filled with these sorts of guys. Not every player that's really good is beloved.
Yeah, I get that, but well, there's no but.
No,
I get that.
Well, I wish he was Ohtani. I wish he was Judge. Bonds was a giant ass. A giant ass.
Yeah, I feel like you're really trying hard to make excuses for like, oh well, it's okay. It just yeah. That's not the point. Is he's a douchebag.
You know who he kind of reminds me of,
and he needed to be called out.
You know who he reminds me of?
Who
is Manny Ramirez?
Yeah,
Manny was like that. Manny was about one thing and one thing only, and that was about Manny. And Manny was great. Manny could. Dude, peak Manny Ramirez was phenomenal. And yet he did this sort of thing. He didn't play hard. He didn't give a crap about playing in the outfield. A lot of comments about nothing really bothered him and I'm going to be fine. I'm Manny Ramirez. No one really, like, when Manny was on your team, you loved him. Kind of. You were just happy that he was out raking for you.
I think he was much more likable to the fans. I don't know what he was like behind the scenes.
Well, he had a big personality.
Exactly. And he had flair. He had
a flair.
His game was, and that guy. I don't want to hear Manny Ramirez hitting ability in the same sentence as Juan Soto's because it's not. Manny Ramirez freaking raked. He'd hit like 330. Yeah. Soto 275. No. Get that bitch ass out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you crapping over 26-year-old. Juan Soto is amazing.
I think Juan Soto is good. He is not the hitter that Manny Ramirez was, and don't try to make that argument. Get out of here.
I will make that argument.
Get out of here.